Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is May the 24th, 2024, and before I show you what has arrived this week for Postcrossing and friend mail, I wanted to show you my front yard because things are kind of in bloom right now. I finally went and mowed the lawn, so my lawn looks just as tidy, I guess, as everybody else's lawn right now. It was no mow May, so I was adhering to that and not mowing anything, but now it is mowed. So one of the things that I really love here in the springtime is this tree. It is just fantastic when it goes in full bloom. Nice pink petals. And then we have violets all over the front lawn. It makes it look like I have a green grass in the front lawn when it isn't quite that nice. We have tulips that are up. They are looking nice. There's a couple of those. So there's some dandelions in there too. Some of the other ground cover flowers are starting to show up. We have birds in the trees, flowers all around. There's a birdie up in the tree. Can you see him? Oh, he zipped off. All right. Lilac bush isn't in bloom yet, so we can't smell that. It does need some trimming. I do get that. There are some things that need to be trimmed around here and cleaned up in the yard, but at least the lawn is done. In the back, it is looking all right. Fire pit could use some attention, like a fire, but it's been very warm, so I don't really feel like a fire. We have these beautiful blue flowers that are also up all over the place. I go all over there. And then over here, if we go back to this part of the yard, you can see the pear tree has blossoms on it. The Japanese maple is getting very big. Probably should be actually pruned down a little bit. The mock cherry trees have blossoms. The apple tree has a few left, but it is basically bloomed and come back. There is rhubarb ready to be picked. There are blueberries that you can see have started in the early phases. Black currants, we're getting a few green leaves on those. If we walk through here, if we go down here, you can see there's a tulip that has gone in there. Very nice purple one. We have some bleeding hearts. We have more violets down in there as well. And the kiwis are starting to get their leaves. The grapes aren't there yet, but the kiwis certainly are. This needs to be pruned back really badly. My quick walk around the yard to show you what's happening here in the spring. It has been unseasonably warm the last week and a half to almost 2 weeks. Around 29 degrees Celsius we've been having. I've actually got some burn and some tan going on right now. It is supposed to cool off a little bit in the low 20s over the next couple days, maybe even get a little bit of rain. We've had some thunder showers, but that's about it. And most of the rains happened in the evening, late at night while we're sleeping. So it hasn't affected me going to work, which is fantastic too. All right, why some of you tune in is sometimes for some of what I do out there and sometimes for the postcards that I get. So I'm gonna show you what postcards I did get. I only get 2 official postcards, but I did get some surprises in the mail too. I'll show you all about that. If you're finding the channel for the first time, I'd appreciate if you like, subscribe, leave positive comments, share with other people, and make sure the notification bell's on so you don't miss out on anything like the live streams that I do on Saturday. And we'll talk about that at the end. All right. Let's start with the first one. It is this card here. It comes from India. The gentleman didn't sign it, but he says that he sent me 2 other postcards, but I hadn't got it, so he tried a 3rd time. So I'm glad that he's tried at least 3 times to get this to me. It's a shame that he's had to send 3 postcards to get one to me. This is a UNESCO card. This is Manas National Park, located at the northeastern state of Assam, which covers an area of 50,000 hectares in the plains of the Manas River in the foothills of the Himalayas. It was inscribed as a World Heritage Site in 1985. So there you go. So thank you so much for that card and for your patience in them getting here, and keep sending. All right, the only other one I got was this massive card. And how massive is it? It is that massive. So this beautiful garden. This is the Summer Garden, and this card comes from Kate in Russia. This is in St. Petersburg. She says that she's 32 years old and lives in Moscow, and she has two passions in her life: reading and going on walks. I love walking somewhere in the woods. Parks and gardens are okay too. I chose this card for you with the view of the Summer Garden in St. Petersburg. Moscow has some famous gardens too, but last autumn she visited St. Petersburg and is still impressed. The city was founded by the Tsar Peter the Great, and there are so many interesting and gorgeous places. St. Petersburg has a lot of rivers and canals. It's often called Northern Venice. It's spring in Russia now, but I can't read what it says there. Oh, but this is in the autumn. The irony is hidden in the name of the garden, which is the Summer Garden. So thank you, Kate, for that. Look at the stamps that are sent. Beautiful flowers and beautiful stamps. So thank you so much, Kate, for that. All right, let's move on to some friend mail, some surprise mail that showed up. The first one is this postcrossing meetup, and this comes from Vera in Germany. Vera was the winner of the May stamp of the month, so congratulations to her for that. And there is the stamp. And there are all the people that were in attendance to it. Jealous of all the people that are going to meetups in Europe. We don't get nearly as many of them here, so thank you for that, Vera. The next one also comes from Germany, and it is this one. It comes from Steffi. She says, today I send you a postcard from the famous Bertha Benz, wife of Karl Benz. Germany just issued new stamps on the 4th of May to celebrate her birthday and death day at the same time. The famous pharmacy there, Bertha charged the automobiles back in the day, was shut down in 2023. Maybe it'll be turned into a museum. So there is the automobile stamp of Bertha Benz, which I didn't know anything about, so I'm glad to have that little bit of history. The next card comes from Erin in Colorado, and it looks like something Stephen in Australia might like. These mushrooms. And she says she wanted to send a few stamps that were celebrating her state. So her state is Colorado. She really likes this one. I agree. It's a beautiful looking stamp. And nice washi tape on there as well. She's been having some beautiful weekends and weather, so weather's turning around for her as well. So thank you so much, Erin, for that card. Next card comes from Ross, and it is a Disney princess. He was in Orlando, Florida, even though he lives in Ontario. And he says, the card says it all. So dream bold dreams. Are you guys dreaming bold dreams of things? I think I am. I think I've kind of turned that corner. When it comes to YouTube, I have a mental picture of where I want it to go, where I want the channel to be, and how I want it to help me in my life. And I think it's doing that. I'm meeting great people, and the channel's growing, and yeah, it's going great. So I'm trying to dream those bold dreams. Hopefully you guys are as well. All right, the next thing I have, all right, we're gonna show you this one. This comes from Virginia in Manitoba. So one of the prairie provinces here in Canada, all the stamps that she's put on it. And she has, make sure I got everything out there. She sent me a bunch of postcards. So I've got some really nice postcards now. This is Churchill, Manitoba, the polar bears, of course. Churchill is famous for all the polar bears that are up there, right there on the Hudson Bay. One of the things that I missed, but I'm glad she sent it, the Northern Lights. I often get requests for Northern Light postcards, so now I have one there. I may actually have more than one. Polar bears, Northern Lights. This polar bear I've had before, this card. But I am glad to have so many of the Northern Lights. This one here, Rush Hour in Churchill, Manitoba. You can see all the, not snowmobiles, but snow trucks, I guess. I know there's a better word for it than that, but there you go, Renee. You want some belugas, maybe? Renee Lewis. Gotta check out her channel. The Inukshuks. This one looks a little bit more vintage almost. The polar bear capital of the world, Churchill, Manitoba. There we have an indigenous tent house. So Northern Lights, another beluga. This one somewhat kind of made me laugh, but it's a little bit inappropriate and maybe not as PC as you have these days. But you've seen the commercials, got milk, got seal. Of course, polar bears and seals maybe don't get along as well as they think. Churchill Saturday Night. There we go. Well, these are very self-explanatory. But I love, Virginia, that they've sent this many cards of Inukshooks and polar bears and the Northern Light. This one may not be a good idea. The Churchill Polar Bear Tours, circa 1900. Oh, tie up a polar bear? That's not a good idea. Even a little one, well, especially a little one, if they turn on you or mama shows up. The belugas. Some more vintage ones. This one's really nice. American Snowy Owl. This is Banff National Park in Alberta, so we've left Churchill. This here is a tall ship that was entering St. John's Harbor in St. John's, Newfoundland. Vancouver skyline, Vancouver, British Columbia, so we're going over a few different provinces. Where I used to live in Vancouver was right over here. So this is Stanley Park, this is North Vancouver, and there's a little community here. This is English Bay. And so I lived in an apartment building over here, my wife and I, until we bought a house out in the suburbs. So thank you for all of those, Virginia. Now, Virginia did send some stamps too, so I'm going to save those for another day, though, as I tend to do with my stamps. So that arrived. The next thing that arrived comes from Elena in Ontario. So this was a surprise to get. She did include some stamp stuff, so I'm going to save that for another day. But she did send some postcards, which I hadn't opened yet. So we will open those now to have a look, see what she sent. These are not postcards. These are cards. So it's a whole stack of cards, all the same image, and the corresponding envelopes to go with them. So you certainly could cut it and make it a postcard, or I think what I'm going to do is I have some people that just tend to like to collect stamps and aren't really so much into postcards. So this might be a good envelope and size to just write my note in and send an envelope with stamps in it. So thank you so much, Elena, for that. I appreciate it. And for the stamps too, which we'll talk about later. All right, the next things I have, let me just fix this a little bit. Let's go with this one first. This one also made me laugh. It arrived today. It comes from Katja in Sweden. Home is where the fart is. If you remember, if you've been watching my channel for a while, Katja sent me this massive card, and it was all statistics about poop in Swedish, so I had to translate it. So I guess this is a continuation of that for our down in the gutter humor, I guess. She says, what a wonderful spring day, would easily call it summer day, but it wouldn't be right as the kids still have 3 weeks left of school. Yes, school is fast ending. There's actually 2 official weeks of school left for my son, and then it's exam week, and I think he only has 1 exam to do during that week, and then he's graduated from high school. His ceremony, his prom, and all that stuff will be happening here in that 3rd week. So yeah, life is moving quickly, and then we'll get into summer and all the other fun things that are going on there. Katja also sent these beautiful stamps. I'm gonna have to research this Swedish rocker. I don't know him, but he must be popular enough that they've made a stamp out of him, so he's someone I should look into. So thank you, Katja, for that. What's the next one? Oh yes. Mail caught up with me once again. This mail comes from Media in Finland. So the first one, I'll say first because there are more than one. We have some, looks like harness racing. You may call it different things where you are, you know, the horses where they pull the little buggy behind. So she's had a bunch of new release stamp issues. I think that's one of them. We have a Postcrossing meetup one with the sunflowers. She said she didn't go to this meetup, but she bought a few cards. This great one too, the capital of the happiest country in the world. So Finland has been deemed the happiest country in the world, and I've seen many programs of people going to Finland to confirm that they're the happiest people in the world. Some say yes, some say no. I think like any country, there are problems that go along with it. You know, people come to Canada and say, oh, it's a beautiful country, it's clean, it's got all sorts of things, free healthcare. Yeah, there's a lot of good things, but there's a lot of things on the bad side too. We all have our issues. Just be happy. Be happy where you are. And if you're not happy where you are, you have the choice. Move somewhere else. All right. She also sent this. It's a first day issue stamp. So the envelope, everything. I like the fact too, Media, that you sent it this way. In the past, sometimes you have written my name and address on the front and used it as a proper envelope, and then you can't save it as a first day cover because it's all been used. So thank you so much for sending me a mint fresh one like that. She wasn't done though. She sent this one. Look at the postmark or the cancellation on it. Very nice. Inside, she sent me an look card. I haven't gotten many of these. I hear a lot about them. I've seen them on other channels. I haven't received lots. These ladies look like they're just having a fabulous time playing football in the streets, the cobblestone streets. Makes it look very European as well. So she said on the back it was Stamp Day in Finland, and tomorrow in Estonia there was one. Here's one of Lapland. Some traditional clothing. I am sure people don't dress like this all the time, but yeah, traditionally you dress up sometimes in what people used to wear. Wasn't done. A third one showed up. This one came from Estonia. Beautiful stamp, beautiful cancellation. I am so lucky that Media spoils me this way. And a Tallinn postcard. So on the 9th of May, she was there. And the 9th of May was my father's birthday. So that's that special one for me, that she was there on my father's birthday. Not that the two have any relation. My father has no connection to Estonia. The last one she sent, so 4 envelopes arrived this week. This one I think is the most beautiful of the stamps. There is a winner. You can see they've got the flower petals around in the wreath around his neck, or her neck, I'm not sure. I assume. Good question. When you do horse racing, are they generally men or are they women, or male or female horses that you race on? I don't know. I'm not a horse racer. I don't watch it very much. I have seen the odd one, the Preakness and the big one. Sometimes you see them. But yeah, beautiful stamp. And inside this massive envelope, we have Treats of Finland. Some of these I would really enjoy. Maybe the fish, not so much. But all the rest, I love fresh peas in pods. Yeah, that's my favorite vegetable in the summertime, especially when I used to grow them in my own garden out here, just to go out and pluck them. One of my favorite memories as a child too, because my mother had a fabulous garden in the backyard. So going out and getting fresh peas and eating them right out of the pod, fantastic. Once again, Media spoiled me. She sent me a first day cover. Look at that beautiful jellyfish. So these I love. Yeah. So thank you very much, Media in Finland, for sending those. The last cards that I have to show you, similar to Media, all come from the same person. So that being said, this comes from our friend Lewis in Spain. This card actually isn't for me, it's for Polo. So we have a mailbox and a hedgehog there. And so we wanted to send a card to Polo, and not just to me, but look at the stamps that Polo received. He's huge. I am finding lately the stamps that Lewis has been sending me have been really big, whether they're the really long train ones, there's been some art ones too that have come my way from Spain. So you see a lot of this one here, this type. Not overly exciting, but I love the bigger ones, the ones that have color, strong images to them. Lewis always does great with washi tape and stickers, and so thank you, Lewis, for that. Lewis wasn't done. He also sent this giant art card. And he said, let's go here. I went to the El Prado Museum. I can't stop visiting this amazing place. Here is a large postcard and a large stamp. I hope you like them. Painting is about God Killing the Beast by Rubens. It is St. George killing the beast. About good killing, maybe? Not God killing. I love these pictures because I believe we need more people like St. George. And there is the large stamp souvenir. This is, of course, an anniversary of their police force. And this isn't a real stamp, but it's a really cool Canadian, well, it is a real stamp, but it's an image of a real Canadian stamp blown up to an extra large size. So thank you, Lewis, for that. He also included a quote up here. I don't know if this is his quote for my question of the month. I hope not, because I'm going to reveal it right now. It's by Frank Zappa. If you don't know who Frank Zappa is, you should Google him, look him up. The quote is, if you end up with a boring, miserable life because you listen to your mom, your dad, your teacher, your priest, or some guy on television telling you how to do your life, I changed that a little bit because it's an inappropriate word probably for this, then you deserve it. So live your own life. Don't let other people tell you how to live your life. Make decisions for yourself. Make good decisions based on good knowledge that you've had before. I agree with that 100%, that you can't live in the shadows of other people, and you can't follow what other people have told you to do if your heart tells you you should be doing something else. Don't be a doctor if your life tells you that, your mind tells you you should be a musician and you have that talent, then go do that. Even if being a doctor is going to help other people and make you lots of money. If your passion isn't for that, do your passion. It's not an easy thing to follow, not an easy thing to say too. Sometimes life gets in the way, and maybe you find yourself raising a family at a young age and you just need to get a job to pay the bills. I get it. You can't just drop everything. Responsibilities are there, but find something that makes you happy. Your life isn't going to last forever, and you need to make the most of it. Enjoy what's out there. There's tons of stuff to enjoy and experience. Don't keep yourself in a bubble if you can have a chance to go and live a great life. All right, one more thing showed up from Lewis. An envelope this time. So there is no stamp to show you. He's put some stickers and some washi tape on it. And inside, he has sent me, let me just make sure this stuff out here. He sent me some stickers. That's a nice eyeball. We have a feather. I like this one here, or a quill. We have some footballs or soccer balls and some thank you stickers. We have a Canada sticker. We have a spirit sticker and an oversized Canadian stamp sticker. I really like these. I'm not sure where he got these, if this is a Temu thing or if there was a store somewhere or eBay or wherever he found them. They're really cool. Then a script. And then he sent me some postcards. The all-night cocktail party. Sometimes if people want to have a break, well, Saturday 18th at 7 p.m. Doesn't say what month, doesn't say what year, but live music, free parking, free entry, your cocktail party, your place, your town. So I'm guessing it's at your house. Create a kinder planet. The world always could use more kindness. Agree 100%. Ignorant people think that it's the noise which fighting cats make. So that is so aggravating, but it isn't so cat fighting. It's a sickening grammar they use, Mark Twain. So can you look through this and see how the grammar doesn't quite go along? Nice quote from Mark Twain. Stay strong. There's a few cracks in it, but you got to stay strong. The 50s Diner, Peggy Sue's. Good old Queen Elizabeth II. We have two of her. And then he as well sent me some stamps. So that is going to have to wait till next week too. So thank you so much, Lewis, for that. Let me just put these things away before I lose them. They fall on the floor or something to that effect. But thank you so much for all those generous gifts, the nice cards, the quotes. If one of those quotes was supposed to be for your quote of the month, please let me know, and I will hold it, pull it out again on the first Saturday of the month. What am I talking about? Well, every Saturday I do a live stream, usually around 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. The first Saturday of every month, I ask a question of you. I give you a whole month to respond. My address is in the description of all my videos, so it's easy to find how to get a hold of me. And you can send a card or an envelope with your answer in it. And then on the following first Saturday of the next month, I read the responses before I give you a new question. It's just that easy. And it's great that we get to know everybody who's watching. Lots of different people participate. Some regulars, yes, participate all the time, and I really appreciate those. And sometimes I get a new person that surprises me, that maybe I don't even really know them at all. They've just watched the video and they sent in a answer to my question. And I love those ones because it lets me get to know the people that are watching. Well, that is what I've done this week. I think it's had a lot of good things come in. I have some things to show you next week that I have kept aside in the way of stamps. And I've got some work to do outside too with the yard before we get any more rain. There's talk of it coming this weekend, so I mean, it may not happen all the weekend, but you know, I like to get a few more things done, get everything cleaned up. I've been blessed to have my brother here for the last week, and we've gone and done some things. I have a new purchase that I have yet to show you. I will get to show you that probably next week. You'll see a video come out on that. And yeah, we got to enjoy each other's company and go travel and see some stuff and visit with my parents. And it was just good to have him down. So if you noticed that there was a couple of videos I didn't put out, a couple of days that I was absent, that's why. I was hanging out with my brother, and you got to do things with family too. So thank you so much for your patience, sticking around with me, waiting for the next video to drop. And as always, have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.